Selena from Impero. So you're starting your tea business. Maybe you are wondering how to actually post your goods out. What is the best way to do it? Well, to start with, Australia Post is probably your best bet to start. They deliver to anywhere in Australia and, of course, overseas as well. So even if your customer is in very remote area, it's not going to be an issue for them. Of course, the flip side of it is that Australia Post is not very price competitive, especially in some of the main city areas. And also, yeah, because they're big, some of the customer services standard can be a bit random. It is a little bit, sort of hit and miss with them. But overall, I would say actually most transportation company has got that kind of flaw. It's quite difficult to find one that is absolutely brilliant in every way. But I would say, some of the things that you want to consider when it comes to choosing a company to deliver your goods would be, of course, the cost, but also, the response rate. So, for example, if you have to find out what's going on with the parcel, what do they have? Typically nowadays, most of them have got some kind of tracking that you can do online. So for example, in the case of Australia Post, if you purchase one of these Post Plus, they don't even call it Post Plus anymore. Huh, okay. Anyway, I used to call them Post Plus. I didn't even realize they changed name. So Parcel Post, and what happens is you've got the tracking label. So you can actually go online and track it. And so as your customer, it's very good that your customer can track it themselves. Simply because that, hey, as much as you want to be absolutely, providing top-notch customer service, you cannot be there babysitting the parcel every 5 minutes. So it's actually quite good, that they could at very least, try tracking this first. So you could be setting up system, or there's some of the shopping carts that enables you to actually put in a tracking number in it very easily, and then just giving them a link that they can actually track it. So Australia Post is definitely a good bet, and the reason why I also want to show you this parcel bag is because you can buy like a packet of 10 with a small discount from Australia Post. You can buy one every time, but it's a bit time consuming every time zipping down to the post office. So get a pack of 10, and basically you just really need to work out what is the typical size of your packages. If you are going to send a lot of 60-gram bag of black tea, then this bag is probably a bit too big. But if you're sending a lot of brittle stuff, like white tea is very brittle, even if it's 60 gram, you probably want to box it or bubble wrap it before you put it in a satchel bag. So, just any box, put the tea in, just giving it some protection. And of course, one thing you really, really, really need to get a good grip on is cubic weight. Because, let me just show you this. This packet here is 200-gram English breakfast, and this packet here is 60-gram cleanse. Look at the size. They're almost the same. What that means is volumetrically, cubic weight, they are more or less the same. And with transportation company, they charge you by cubic weight if you're going on parcel, like if you're sending a box. They want to know the dimension and work out a cubic weight. So you will notice that, postage-wise, these two are going to be charged more or less the same. But the net weight, the amount of tea that you're sending out is actually quite different. And that's going to affect your postage cost. When we first started, and even now, it's really a very moving goalpost with postage. You have to really be quite regimented in trying to work this out again, because like Australia Post, they update their prices 2-3 times a year. You need to give yourself enough buffer, because you really don't want to change your postage every 3 months or 6 months. So ideally you only change it once, which really means that you really got to give yourself enough buffer so you can actually charge enough postage. Some people do charge it at cost. So let's say if a satchel is $7, you just charge $7. But I do want you to keep in mind, whether you do charge extra or not, that someone got to pack that, and maybe you think that your time doesn't, cost you anything at the moment, but at some point you're going to go, oh, I'm so busy already and I still need to pack these tea. I'm going to get someone in to do it. That person's going to cost you. So from zero labor cost to, $18, an hour or whatever, there's a cost there. So just do keep that in mind. And yeah, I mean, you can send it out, in boxes, or you can send it out in bags. These, post-pay bag is just, a really simple way to start. For a lot of you guys, not really actually sending a lot of variations of products, probably, it's just easy enough. So if it's one of these, you can just, put it in, and just seal it, and you're good to go, kind of thing. So, just some food for thought in terms of postage. There are a lot of other courier companies out there. For example, Fastway Courier, Couriers Please, larger boys like TNT, Australian Air Express. There are definitely a lot of different ones. And if you are working quite specifically with, perhaps more remote areas, then you need to find a courier that really can cater for that, or delivery company. Australia Post, for example, do outsource some of the delivery to other companies to do. And yeah, it does really vary. Sometimes it can really just backfires and really throw mud on your face. But you just have to be honest and, sincere with your customer as well, because that's a part of your service that you can only get to a certain level, and you have to trust people out there to do their job properly. And unfortunately, they don't always do it properly. Like Australia Post, the postman don't always leave a card in a mailbox when they cannot deliver that to the door to that recipient. And there will be some chasing involved. So you might even want to dedicate a particular email address for order-related materials or inquiries, or even actually tracing parcels. But I would say, an order-dedicated email is actually pretty good. So everything goes there should be, more or less only related to, the order inquiries, tracking, and all that sort of stuff. So you might even be able to palm that off to, a staff to actually look after that, maybe a part-timer who only come in for a few hours every day to go through that for you. Just work out some systems so this is not going to become, a screaming crazy monkey jumping on your back kind of thing. So I hope this helps you in terms of, working out your postage when it comes to tea selling. If you do find this video helpful, please do like the video, and any question, feel free to use the contact us form on our website, teas.com.au, or if you want more trade info, there are a lot of juicy bits in empiroteas.com.au. I'll catch you next time.